everybody has a good life here. Actually, normal. If you want, if you choose to live a good life, you can have a good life. But sometimes that makes people, I doesn't need you. You don't need me. So we don't come in contact. We don't have any contact with each other, And in Africa, I think the poverty brings people together. And I really love that. That's what I miss here. To see people gather together like this is only in festival. To see people gather like this in Europe, it's only in festival. In the winter, you don't see such thing.
Welcome back to the African Narrative Podcast. My name is Femi Shuewu. We are today at the Sfinks Mixed Festival in Belgium, and we have set up our studio here on the open field, so you will hear a lot of noise in the background, a lot of music, people walking around here and there, and anybody could just walk in to take part in our freestyle podcast today. And with me now is
Cherif Sissoko.
That's Cherif Sissoko. He's from Guinea-Conakry. I have to say this. I'm always very jealous of people from French-speaking West Africa, because almost everyone who speaks French, who comes from French-speaking West Africa, will also speak a little bit of English. But those of us from English-speaking West Africa, unless you specifically went to a school where they teach that, we don't speak French.
They don't get that at school. And in Africa, all the French-talking countries in Africa, mostly at school, we study in French, but we also have a little time to study English too. Like from the time that I went to college, I started, studying English. That's how I learned to speak English, actually.
How long have you been living in Belgium? You live in Belgium, I presume.
In Belgium, yeah. Now almost 11 years.
11 years.
And all my time I was here in Antwerp. 11 years.
When you came to Belgium, what was it then that surprised you the most?
Actually, not the people themselves, but the city. It was really, clean. That was the first time that I went in the city. It was everywhere was almost so clean. On one Sunday, I came from, a dancing club, and I was on my way home. I saw a car. A car who cleans the streets. I was like, damn, man, shit. That's really beautiful. That's crazy. I never saw that, because in Africa, even, the street, they're always dirty. Some woman, in front of the door, they clean it, but that's it. You don't have car, you don't have anything to come clean the street. So the first time seeing it, I was really in shock.
You thought like, now I'm in heaven.
Not heaven, but I thought I was in a better place. A better place. A better place to live life, to have, to search for some kind of happiness, surety, maybe. But I was shocked when I saw that car cleaning the street. I was really shocked.
You've been living 11 years, and that day you saw the streets clean, you saw
cars cleaning the
street. They have this thing underneath.
All the mechanism and all, that was working and clean. And the man, he doesn't even have to get out the car. He just sit there, And the car was just cleaning by himself. I was really, all right.
And then you felt like, oh, I'm in a better place.
That's what I thought.
So that's what you thought.
That's what I thought.
So 11 years later, do you still have the same feeling?
There is some cultural differences. The way we look at life is a little different, to their way of looking at life. I don't know what was the reason of that, but I think maybe it's because of, I don't know, just because people are, everybody has a good life here. Actually, normal. If you want, if you choose to live a good life, you can have a good life. But sometimes that makes people, I doesn't need you. You don't need me. So we don't come in contact. We don't have any contact with each other, you know. And in Africa, I think the poverty brings people together. And I really love that. That's what I miss here. You know, to see people gather together like this is only in festival. To see people gather like this in Europe, it's only in festival. In the winter, you don't see such thing.
You mentioned the winter. Is it not because of the weather that people are not always together?
Maybe. But in my humble opinion, it's like just the mentality. It's the mentality, the way of seeing, the way of looking at things. That makes us different to them. But actually, it's the same. You have, you know, surety that you can work here in Europe. You can rent an apartment at your major life, like 18 years. You can get out the house of your, you know, parents. But in Africa, that's the big problem there. I mean, too much, you know, poverty. I mean, I don't know how to say that in English, but the government, the people who are there, the people who are leading us, they sell us to some other people, some rich people. They sell everything that we have, soul, physical, body, everything. They sell it. They sell that for real. Yeah, I've witnessed it. That's for real, man. Yeah. And here, that's the difference. The government, they work for the people. I mean, the festival and all. That could not be possible if the government was not, you know, helping the people, giving them something. As an African, in beginning, was really hard. It was really, really hard. You know.
What was hard?
Everything, you know, making friends, be respected, you know, have, you know, some kind of decent life and all. That was really difficult because I've been homeless and all that, and it was really in Europe, yeah, in Europe. And that's mostly that kind of stuff. I don't see that in Africa. We are poor there, that's true, but you don't see people in the street. Living in the street like that, only, I mean, you know, if the man have some mental issues, all right. But even that, some people try to bring him home. They try to wash him, they try to help him. You know, only crazy people live in the street in Africa. But the poverty there is for real. And here, you see people, you know, who are really, they separate, really. You see people who live in the street, and you see people who has so many buildings where nobody's in.
No.
That's it doesn't make sense to me, you know.
It's ironic that you say when you came, you saw how the streets were clean.
Yeah.
And you thought you had, hey.
Yeah.
Now the life is,
you know, life is going to be good. Yeah.
So you ended up in Europe,
yeah.
in homeless.
Yeah. Man. Yes.
And how did you get over that, the homelessness?
I mean, actually, that's the people that I know, all my friends and the people that I came across, you know, they helped me, you know, mentally, financially, they helped me a lot.
Yeah, but what I get now is that because the same thing will happen in Africa. If you are homeless, your friends will help you. So
yeah.
Friends are helping you also. Yes,
yeah.
You have.
But that's the problem. Making those friends was really difficult. So was not easy.
It's like work, making friends.
It's like, you know, work in street. You cannot make friends like that. Only, you know, you can. For example, when I came in Europe, my first week, anybody that I came across in the street, I say hi, hey, good morning. But they don't answer. They don't answer me, you know. So that tells me they're not, you know, they are not so open. Like, right? They're not open. So making them, you know, that was really kind of, I had to look for people who like to be with other people who like to be social, people who like to, you know, do things with other people, not being with themselves. Just get out and be with other people, living life with other people, not for themselves. But that was really difficult. If I didn't came across like an organization like PSA is an organization like, they help young people who came here and they don't have paper, all that kind of migrant shit. But after that, when I went there, I start, you know, I start learning to know people. I start learning to how the mentality works and everything. I started to learn about the Belgian people.
So,
really.
hearing this,
Yeah.
do you think that the people in Africa have the right image of Europe?
Kind of. I mean, it's really, it's like, how can I say? A yin and yang, you know that symbol.
Yeah.
What we really need in Africa, they have it here. What they really need here, we have it in Africa. You understand? That's really some kind of, they're missing something that we have, we're missing something that they have. So it's like, yeah, I think maybe if we learn to work together, it could be better. It could be better. That's my opinion.
Do you think we can work together?
I think, of course, I think we can. And I think the next generation, they will. The next generation, they will. Now with me, maybe my kids or their grandchildren.
What's with your kids?
Now, maybe not me, but maybe my kids or with my grandchildren or something. I don't know.
I think we are putting a lot of pressure on the next generation.
Oh,
Because
yes.
everybody I've spoken with today,
Oh, yes.
they're talking about the next generation.
I mean, they show the world they're really responsible. Actually, they show the world that they're really responsible. They're getting out for actions, not just some pep talk. All right, we will see what we can do. No, it has to happen now. If it doesn't happen now, we see in the world what's really happening.
Yeah.
If they don't get what they want, they come in street and they do all kind of crazy stuff, man. Really, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I really like it.
One last question, because it's getting dark.
All right.
Both of us are very dark. We will not be seen in the dark.
Yeah, man.
That's something we black people need to do. We need to create a camera
Yes.
that will see us even in the dark. If
Indeed.
it's a white person, it doesn't matter. You don't need a flash. But with us, we need the
I hope they
biggest
will.
flash.
I hope one of our genius does. I hope so. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I mean, we have smart people in Africa, and they really try. It's just the government that don't support them.
Yeah.
The government never support them.
Do you think that Europeans know enough of Africa and Africans living in Africa?
No. There is some of Europeans, they really know about Africa, but most of them don't know. They don't know. There is a lot they don't know about Africa.
Like what? When you speak with them, what do they say that you think like, oh man, you don't know anything, you don't know what you're talking about?
Yeah, like, for example, many people in Europe, they think in Africa, when they think of Africa, they think of only disease, wars, corruption, criminal, all those kind of bad stuff. But they don't know, like, even when I was at school here, I was studying just electricity, some from professionally of formation. My teacher, sometimes when he asks me question and I put my hands up, I answer, he's shocked
That you know.
that I know the answer. Really, he's shocked. He tell me, wow, Cherif, really? That's his reaction. Wow, Cherif, how do you know that? And I think, I cannot come with any any polite answer. I say, yeah, sir, we don't live, in trees in Africa. We don't live in trees. Maybe if that's what you think, we don't live in trees. The way that that's the way that I went to school also, I studied. So maybe you think that because I'm black, I came from Africa, I never went to school. I've been to school. I may not know much, but I've been to school. I know a little. I know how to speak, how to think. I know all that. So next time, if I answer something, just be happy. Don't ask you how did I know and all, Don't make that kind of, a reaction. I was upset, but I kind of said, tell him politely, it's kind of, that's not good. That's not okay.
How are we going to bridge that gap, that information gap? That, Africans know more about Europeans, Europeans know more about Africans. Africa.
I think make many mixed babies, man. Yeah. Mixed babies, a lot of mixed babies.
So you
that is people want to know, the different. Where you from? Nah, never mind. You're from everywhere, both sides. So don't worry. I was making a joke, but I don't know. I really, if I say that I know, I will lie. I will lie. I don't know. I just think, we just have to accept people for who they are, how they wanna live their life, and just, give them the space to be it. That's all. And sometimes not to be too judgy. This European, they like this, they like that, or African, oh, they like this, they like that. Just not to be too judgy. Everybody does something for some kind of reason. You don't know it, so try to, understand before you say something to someone. That's what I think.
Well, that is Cherif Sissoko from Guinea-Conakry saying one of the best ways, it's a joke, but I think maybe we should think of it, of getting Africa and Europe together and getting the misunderstanding out of the way is to make mixed babies.
Too many mixed babies.
Yeah. So this is the African Narrative Podcast, the marathon edition. Don't forget to subscribe and press the notification button so that you will be informed whenever new videos and podcasts are uploaded. If you are listening to it, don't forget to follow the African Narrative Podcast from Africa Web TV. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you. That was very good.
I'm a king, yes, I'm a king. I'm a king.